recording. There we are. So it should now be recording again. Right, so I've done 2 cards. Let me spotlight. It should let me spotlight now, my downward camera. Yes, there we go. Right. So if we start with the fancy fold, with the sort of more difficult.
Oh, wow.
And then go on to the other. So it has got a belly band on it.
Oh, that's good. I can give that to Brenda for her birthday.
Yeah, because she won't have seen one.
She won't.
So it's got a belly band on it, and then it opens up like this, and it's sort of
very pretty.
proud like that.
Yeah.
So it sort of stands on the mantelpiece in sort of like a M shape, and the centerpiece stands up, and you've decorated all of the bits. Oh, did I write down measurements for that? I might not have done, but we can remeasure it and work that out as we go along.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm probably will watch rather than craft along with.
Fine. I'll sort of try and do it at a fairly steady pace. Let's put my teeth so that be able to sort of, follow along as you do it. But we started off with a piece of Poppy Parade cardstock. So obviously it depends. You could swap your colours. You could do it in blues or greens and just use different papers. That would be an easy swap to do. But I started off, I'll carry on with the Poppy Parade. I did think, shall I swap the colour for this? And then I thought, no, because that means getting very confusing with your cutting instructions.
Yes.
You might use red, but you could use berry burnt. That would perhaps get a bit confusing.
Yeah, I've cut everything ready, so
so you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So this first piece, so your Poppy Parade bit is 25.2, and that's because that is easier to divide by 4. So we're going to score it at every 6.3 centimetres. So that will be 6.3. This is where my 6.3 times table will come into its own.
Which you know so well.
I've also got it written down in front of me. So 12.6, and I will write all of this up.
Yeah.
I was going to do it today, but I was on Gracie duty today, so I didn't quite get round to it. So 18.9. So that's 6.3, 12.6, 18.9. And this will be your card base that you are going to sort of make into an M shape. So your 2 outward bits are going to fold out, and your front one. So you're going to have a mountain, a valley, a mountain to make the M shape. Muffle mummy. Let's find a bone. That looks like it's going to be done. I was looking at one earlier. Why not just put it away? Obviously not. We'll move that out of the way just for a second. And we'll just use our nail for now. But obviously, you'd use a bone folder because you'd have one to hand. As I say, I saw one a few minutes ago and I thought I'd put it in this drawer. But obviously...
You haven't?
Obviously didn't. Well, that's no problem. So that's your basic card base, is this sort of M shape, a bit like a bird.
Yeah.
Very, very basic paper aeroplane. So that's that one. Now, you could go to great length and faff around and work out measurements for these bits just here. I have not done that. I have not faffed about and worked out measurements for those. I have gone at this stage and just put strips on. So the colour paper that I used for that is this one here.
Right.
The red at the top when it goes down to the orange at the bottom. But we're going to cut from the red end. And these are going to need to be 17 centimetres by 5.8. You will have cut some pieces of basic white that are the same size. They're the bits that are going to go on the back. for you to write instructions on. So this paper is going to be the same size as that. It's going to be 17 centimetres by 5.8. So we're going to want 4 of those. So I'm going to chop that 17 centimetres, and it works out quite nicely. It sort of is just mainly red, just slightly starting to fade to orange. So it sort of keeps that colour quite nicely.
Brilliant.
Providing you cut it from the right end, otherwise you'll be orange going. But that you know, that may be a design choice. That could equally be so. So we want 4 of these that are 5.8 by 17, and they will easily come out of that strip and leave you a bit left over.
Okay.
Stamps sticking to the bottom of my trimmer. That's where we lose them. So I will stick these on, and then that bit will be done. She said, famous last words. Not been here today, so I've not used my glue. So I did it so the redder section is at the top.
Yeah.
And you could equally do it the other way. Those across there. Yeah, I think by the time you'd gone to all those measurements to work out what they were, you'd probably be saving a strip about 1.5 centimetres wide in the middle. It really didn't seem worth the faff, really.
Definitely not. Well, we all left with loads of DSP all the time, aren't we?
Yeah, little bits. So that is that piece just there. So that's the back section of your card done. We'll come back to it and put the front bits on in a minute. Let's continue with the inside. So the other bit that you've got is a large piece of basic white, and this is 25 centimetres long, so 0.2 centimetres shorter, and it's 12.5 centimetres deep.
Yeah.
Now this one we are going to score. Let me find my bit of paper. We're going to score it at 6.2. So this one isn't even all the way across. The 2 end panels are both 1 millimetre shorter. But the panels in the middle are the same width as our card base. So this is going to be 6.2, 12.5. Let's open it up, and 18.8.
John's just called house.
House, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, got a line on that one. This is going to go the same. No, it isn't. It's going to go opposite. So you want a mountain, you need a valley in the middle, and then a mountain. So this is more of a W rather than an M.
Yep.
Because this will stick then across this centre piece. No, you've not done that right. Actually, these all need to be. This bit will stick across this. You're also going to have that stuck down there. This is going to be stuck down here. We're going to score it in a minute. This will be stuck just on this edge, and this bit will pop out that way eventually.
Okay.
Let's score in first. Oh, and you will see. So what you want to imagine, the easiest way to do this next bit is to imagine that rather than one long rectangle, you've got 2 squares. You've got a square here.
Okay, yes.
Square here.
Yeah.
Because what you're going to do no measuring involved in this one, is you're going to take it and you're going to score it from that center score, that score line just there. So imagine you've got your square, you're going to score this and this.
Okay.
You're going to do the same on the other side, but obviously you're going to treat them as individuals. So we're going to go from that center score line to this edge. So just line those up. Oh, you're wiggled. And then we're going to do the same with this one. So from this bottom center to that top corner.
John, do you want a baby bell or anything? John, do you want a baby bell? No, fine. Okay.
Now that's probably not going to show up very well.
I can see now. I can see.
Yeah, so you've got the cross that side, and you're going to do exactly the same on the other side. From that corner to that corner, and then from that corner down to the centerpiece just there. So if we sort of fold on all of these, and this is the point where you want to try and make sure that these are lining up on the bottom and on that center edge, where a bone folder would be really helpful.
I've written bone folder in here.
Yep, I would. Make sure your bone folder is to hand. I'll be amazed if that's the only thing I can't find. I've sort of shot in, and so once you sort of score those, you'll see how this will pop out.
Yeah.
And these will sort of come in like that. Once we've done this other one, it will do the same. Hopefully. And what you should find is that you'll be able to almost
concertina it. Okay, yeah.
That's worth giving those a good burnish. So we will stick this on before we start adding any papers to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this center diamond just here.
Yeah.
We'll put adhesive on the back of that, and we shall put adhesive on the back of the two end triangles. So they're the bits that will stick down.
Okay.
The rest of it will be free flowing, hopefully. So let's put some glue on the back of our diamondy bit first, and we'll get that lined up. So that needs to line up with this center score line, and it's around about 2.5 centimeters from top and bottom. I think it's something like 2.45, but we won't argue about that. It was just an easier measurement. So make that about halfway, line that score line up there, and stick that bit down. And then we shall put some glue on this triangle. And because we have cut this 1 millimeter shorter than our base card, it should just sort of sit slightly shy at that bit, so it doesn't overlap when we come to closing it up.
You don't recommend folding it onto it?
You could fold it onto it. I mean, certainly there's no reason why not.
But then it might, you need to,
it might be that you need just to manipulate it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it's not overlapping. Sticky mark in the middle of there. Never mind, we're going to cover that with paper. So hopefully then, once that is all stuck down, it will manipulate nicely, and it sort of comes together as a gatefold.
Open
it up. It will pop.
Brilliant. Okay.
So
What's this called? Do you know?
I will write that in the instructions. I didn't write that down, did I? I should have written that down. Now then, what was it called? Let me see if I can.
Don't worry. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I certainly will write it on the instructions.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. I'm trying to think what it was called.
Very pretty gatefold card.
Pretty gatefold card. Yeah, I didn't, but I will do. I shall write that for you. Yeah, so that's that one. The other one I saw was done in inches. I've converted it to centimeters.
Oh, you're a clever girl.
Yeah, so that's your base. It now is these squares just here, and I obviously didn't write that down. We're very well at not writing things down, or if I wrote it down, I wrote it somewhere different. So this square just here, if I remember right, is something like 8 point. I'm going to say 8.8. So I am going to cut a square of paper for there that is 8.3. And these, I think, they're the same. So we're going to want one, two, three pieces of DSP that are 8.3 centimeters. Paper that I used for the centerpiece and these two outside pieces is the same paper that I used for the front. It's just the floral pattern on the back.
Yeah.
And these sort of flowers do move around a bit, so it won't really matter which.
Right. Can you flip it? Let me see what's on the back.
So this is this same paper
that okay. Yeah.
Used for that.
Yes.
Yeah. So the middle section and these two outside sections are the other side of this.
Right.
And we are going to cut two of those. Sorry, we're going to want more than that altogether, but we want two of these at 8.3. So two of this first pattern, 8.3 squares, 8.3 centimeter squares. Actually, I'm going to cut 16.6 first, just because.
Okay.
If I cut it at 16.6 first, when I then cut it at 8.3 this way, I get a longer strip of paper left over rather than two.
Yes, yeah, two squishy little bits, yeah.
Something that you'll perhaps be able to do something with rather than two little bits that. So we will then cut that into two 8.3 squares.
Yeah.
One of these, both of these, we're going to cut in half. Right, some of them you cut into four, but not these two. These two we're going to cut in half on the diagonally. They will stick. So one will come in here. Two will come in this centerpiece. And one will come on this end just here.
Right.
It doesn't really matter which orientation they are, because you're putting them on the diagonal anyway. You're putting them on a wonk anyway, so they'll be on a wonk whichever way up they are. But floral papers like this react quite nicely. If you were doing a different paper, you might want to check that whatever you're using will work on the diagonal. They don't always. But these are. There we are. So that's our four pieces across there. That actually looks quite effective. You could just leave it with these bits white if you wanted to. I did also No, I used a different paper for those, so we'll ignore that. Let's find my other bit of paper that I used. So that was this one, which sort of is again, has got the reds and oranges in it, but sort of is more going on diagonal and looks more like a salt effect. Looks like
I lost you. I was kicked out.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. That's all right.
What bits did you get to? So you got to this
bit. Yeah.
That bit's all fine. I was saying it actually looks quite striking with the white. You could just leave it with white if you wanted to, but we will go on and do a different colour paper. So the other paper that I've used is this one that looks like they've done the salt technique on it. So you've got the diagonal red at the top and the orange and things. And then on the other side, it's got yellowy orangey flowers.
Okay, yep.
So we will... I've taken it, I think, from this bottom bit mainly so that it's more of the yellow rather than the red that I've got on my panels. So these again will want to be 8.3. We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we will want another 2 at 8.3. So again, I'll go to 16.6 to give myself although it won't make any difference really with this one, Helen, because you cut it to 8.3 wide. Do you know?
Times 2. Right.
So with these ones, we're not just going to cut them in half, we're going to cut them into quarters, but we're still going to do it
cut into 4.
Yeah.
On diagonal.
So probably the easiest way to do is to cut it in half, but then to keep it together, to cut it away. Otherwise, you're not quite sure
where you
from. So if you can keep it together, then you can go on the diagonal again, and then you'll get 4 little pieces. And then we'll do this.
Which I will lose.
Yeah. I'm going to stick them on straight away so that hopefully I can't. I already had a panic where I couldn't find the embossing folder, and then it was tucked in with all the plates.
I was going to say we've used it last class, didn't we?
Right. So these ones you'll have 2 up here and 2 down here, and the same on the other side.
Right. That's really pretty.
Yeah, you might find, as you always do when you're trimming up papers and things, you may find that you need to go in and trim them slightly. They seem to have been quite well behaved up until now, but you only have to be a little bit off on scoring or whatever, and it can send your papers off. So just trim a bit off if you need to. I think we're okay. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle.
It is. It's lovely.
But they're not too fiddly. Sometimes you do these sorts of cards and you get really, really tiny fiddly bits, don't you? They're not.
Yeah, no.
Too fiddly. And not too much in the way of complicated measurements either. It's just go from there to there diagonally and cut that half and quarters, and you're all good. There we go. John's still coughing well. Sounds like he's been practicing.
He's perfected it now, Helen.
I think so.
He had to have some bloods taken today, so we trundled off and left Bonnie here in solitary splendor while we.
Now the tops and bottoms, again, you can leave them blank if you want to, but I used the floors on the other side, so same paper, just the other side. So again, you'd need 2 bits of 8.3.
Right.
So you could just cut 4 squares of 8.3 while you're at it, really.
Yeah.
But we'll take it one step at a time. Let me get that way. And again, now one cutting quarters. You could attempt to lay them on top of each other and do them all the time, but
there lies disaster.
I did try yesterday, but I spent so much time fiddling with them, trying to get them all lined up. I thought this is ridiculous. It would have been easy just to do them individually. Every time I thought I'd got them there, one of them moved somewhere. So yeah, I suppose if you were doing it with a guillotine type trimmer, it might be.
Yeah. Yeah, I might use my guillotine for this particular bit.
Yeah. Off with their heads. That's
absolutely.
Now those are the floor yellow flowery bits. So we will stick those on the underside of there. She says, when I locate my glue, I have buried. You could do this before you stuck it down.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like it could be quite a good idea to do it before you stuck it down, but I'm not convinced that I'd get them in the right place.
It needs to go where, isn't it?
Yeah.
That bit, I need that bit.
Yeah. I suppose once you've done one, you could use that as a template and do the other one out. But yeah.
Yeah. Just put a little pencil, work out which ones it is and put a little pencil cross on it or something to make sure you
yeah.
keep on the right bit. But it's not too fiddly.
No.
You just slip in. And to be honest, if it's not quite lined up at the bottom,
I don't think people are going. Well, if they are going to check, then they don't deserve a card.
No. Just always these triangles seem to go not the way you expect that they're going to want to go.
No. Oh dear. Sorry, it's been a long day.
No. Might join you in a minute. Gracie's had me running around doing all sorts today.
Oh, bless her. How old is she now?
She was 2 at the end of February, so she's getting
crikey. Yeah. Wow.
Helen's been teaching her to play swing ball, which she's amazingly good. I mean, she doesn't hit it hard, but if you to her, she's got a bat and she taps it back. It was like, oh,
brilliant. So her hand-to-eye coordination is obviously very good. Yeah.
It was like I wasn't expecting that to come back at me. Won't be long before she's thrashing me. that that would be hard. Right, so that's all our paper on the inside.
Right.
If we just do our 2 panels for the front, again, I use this yellow and orange flowery on the front. You can use what you like. And again, they'll need to be the same size as these inside panels and your white back panels, which is 17 centimeters by 5.8. So let's no, my math serves me right. If I do 11.6 by 17, should be able to cut that in half at 5.8. You could even experiment with doing this inside insert piece in white willow, which would be slightly less bulky, possibly.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's okay because you're going to put a belly band around here, but.
And I've got 2 people lined up for it anyway, and neither of them are going to be posted, so that's fine.
That's all right. Oh, let me go around. So this is the last of the bits of paper. So the only other thing you've got is those 2 strips of basic white that will go on the back. If we do those now, then they're done. You can add some stamping to these or
right, yeah,
paper or whatever if you want to. And you can decorate obviously the whole card as much or as little as you like. So that's those back panels. That's those. You will need 1 bit of paper. I have told a fib. The other bit you'll want is for your belly band. Right, hopefully you worked out when you cut your piece of Poppy Parade for your card base that this 3.5 centimeter strip was the strip that was left.
Yeah, not until I'd cut the other one the wrong way.
So yeah, so if you haven't already cut your card bases and things, when you cut this main card base, the strip that you've got left on the side of your paper is the bit that I have used for my belly band.
All right, because I did I cut a set for me, and then I cut 2 sets for Vonnie and another set for me. So I corrected it on the second one.
Yeah. Yeah. So belly bands, I never make too much fuss about scoring and things because you don't want them to be too tight. You want them to be fairly loose coming around there because you're going to slip them on and off. So just a question of wrapping it round and adding some adhesive of some sort to this end, sticking that down. And then I just cut a strip of paper. What did I use? What did I use on my belly band? Oh, it was a bit of this one that was left over, I think. Possibly cut it from there, did I? Oh no, it wasn't that one. It was the back of this one. In fact.
Oh, it's the salt and pepper one. I mean the salt.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not quite that one, is it? We'll just cut a little bit of this. That's more than long enough. So your strip is 3.5. So I've just cut a piece that is 3 centimeters wide, and that is about 12 centimeters long. So 3 by 12. Let's cut that at 3. Trim it off at 12. Stick that to the front of the belly band.
Yeah.
You could have it going all the way round, but then it gets that they never quite fold nicely where they
No.
stick properly where they fold.
No.
So that's that. So you've got that bit that will then slip off and open up, and you've got all of your paper inside. Now we're just going to want, oh, did I put that on there? I didn't. Oh, you're going to want a little piece of basic white cardstock. I will add it to these instructions and when I send out the link to the tutorial and everything. But you need a little piece of card that is 6 centimeters by, paper gone? I'm sure it's 6 by 2.5. So just a little scrap of basic white, and the measurements, the 6 probably, you want it 6. The width of it, it's not my phone, is, fairly negotiable really. So if you've got a bit that's somewhere around 2.5 centimeters, that will be fine. But you want it to be 6 centimeters long, and then you will score it at 1, 2, and either go on and do it at 5, 6, 4, 5, or swing it round and do it at 1, 2 the other end as well. Because what you're going to end up with is a piece of card. You may have done these before, that is going to look like.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have your 2 centimeter strip, 1 and 1, 1 and 1.
Yeah.
And then that piece you will use to stick over here. So you're going to put adhesive on these back. So as it's folded like that with these little coming out, you're going to put adhesive on these 2 front facing bits. And then they will sit either side, so fairly centrally, either side of your centre score line. Like that. And then that will pop up. And that's the bit, getting sticky now. That's the bit that you can add your pop-up element to. So it will sit in there nicely as it's folded flat. And then as you open it up, it sort of pops up, and you can put what you like on there then. So you don't have to have that bit. You could decorate it somewhere completely different. But if you want that pop-up element in the middle, you'll just need that little bit of card that's approximately 2.5 deep by 6, scored at 1, 2 on either end. So that's that. So decorating it, how I've decorated it is I have taken the 2 largest stylish shaped circles. I've cut 2 in Poppy Parade, 1 for the front and 1 for the inside, and the second size I've done 2 in basic white, 1 for the outside, 1 for the inside. And you have got bits of card cut for that, so this other piece of Poppy Parade should be big enough to cut your 2 bigger circles, and this one should be big enough to cut your 2. Oh no, that's not that one. No, I've not given you a piece cut. I've given you a piece cut for the Poppy Parade.
Right.
White one comes out of that sheet of cardstock or oddments.
Yeah.
Rather than having a whole load of little bits of basic white. Otherwise, you end up with wasting such a lot. So I've just got a bit left over here from where I was cutting my bits. That other bit's your insert for your other card. Let's move that out the way and let's cut ourselves 2 Poppy Parades. Somebody's pinched my handle. Something wrong. Technical difficulty. Do poppy parade circles and be proud. I put it on my magnetic sheet.
Well done.
Oh, that moved. It moved off the card now. I think we're all right. More again in a minute. But we can stick those together so that we've hopefully don't lose any bits. So we'll want those in a minute. Let's pop them there and hope that they don't disappear. I'm going to bring in, might need a bit more than this, but we'll start with this bit. And there's a leaf on. Now you were here, so where have you gone? I know you were here. I cleaned you. I saw you. And that wasn't the bit that got stuck to the bottom of the trimmer.
I was going to say, we check the bottom of your trimmer.
Have a look again in a minute. Got the flower. Got the little leaf, but it's the bigger leaf that I want. And they were all here before I started because
you knew it was too good to be true, Helen. Come on.
It was all here, all waiting to go. And how ridiculous. It's not complicated, but not that any of it's particularly complicated. But I will carry on and ignore
Carry
them.
on regardless.
You'll pretend as if.
Yep.
And treat it like a naughty child and just ignore it.
Absolutely, it'll come back.
Of the woodwork. A quick look on the floor. I've not swept it onto the floor with anything. Oh, I've not stuck my. For goodness sake. I know it's here because I cleaned it and they were all there. Anyway, I've got the flowers. This is the bit that I've hidden with a bit more than the not on the other side. And drive me nuts.
Yeah.
I tend to ignore it, but at the same time it's driving me nuts. And I'm thinking, well, where's that gone? Because it was here. Right, so what I did with these flowers, so the colours in this paper, the yellow in it is crushed curry.
Yeah.
So I took some crushed curry and I've also got some poppy parade. Oh, look.
Where were they? Where was it?
In the basket, along with my bone.
Sorry, I'm not laughing, honestly. See, those borrowers have been kind to you and brought everything back.
Put everything back in the basket. Right, so we're going to continue with the flowers. I'm still ignoring the leaves for now for being naughty. Okay, so what I did with the flowers was I inked them up with crushed curry. Ink. I then took my poppy parade and a sponge dauber and I went round the edges, sort of leaving it with a yellow middle and red round the outside. We went for a bit of two-tone. So hopefully ta-da!
Oh, so pretty.
That. So
that looks lovely. Yeah.
We'll do this before I ink this up in the yellow again. There's a fresh curry and a bit of poppy parade around the outside, and it fits quite nicely with the papers then because they're
absolutely
blended in a bit, and you're never going to get two that are the same.
You wouldn't want two that the same. Nature doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't. So because I was very aware that they had got orange stems, I took shaded spruce and blend and just added a bit of green. Just do that. So that was two lots of the flowers, one for the front, one for the inside. And then I used shaded spruce because that's the colour of the greens in this particular suite. I mean, it wouldn't matter if there isn't any green in this particular card other than this, so you could actually use what colour green you like. But we're actually going to want 4 lots of leaves, so I shall need more. Wide enough. I think so, just about.
You all right, John? Oh. What are you doing? Oh, Tracy would be proud of you.
So we've got 4 of those, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. There is also, where have you gone? There's a little label die. Oh, I've popped on the back by mistake. So this little label die is also out of the die set for this.
Okay, yep.
I shall cut one of those as well. So there's dies to cut these out, which is always good.
Yeah, always a bonus.
We'll cut one of those, we'll cut one of those, and then we've got our flowers as well. On there.
We dropped the die.
No, I've got them. It's all right. I've just got the thing next to me rather than on the table. There we go. So there's that little one. We'll stamp something on in a minute. one lot of leaves, one lot of flowers. Take my scissors and chop that off like that, and then I can get another leaf on there as I run it through.
Yeah.
Go with the one that's on its own.
Don't lose that dye, label dye.
No. More flowers, 2 leaves, so 2 more leaves to go. They're not huge amounts of die cutting, but this is the most there is, really.
Fair enough.
And if you're a lover of fussy cutting, you could cut them instead. But
you do know who you're talking to, don't you?
That you would rather.
Especially leaves, my goodness.
Yeah, they're a bit silly. You wouldn't get the bits out the middle and things. Oh, let's just.
I've started doing the modern Christmas jobbies. So I've been cutting out baubles today.
Oh.
As you do in summer.
Yeah, well.
Oh.
Last one. We've done these beforehand, but then it wouldn't be in real time, which of course is the whole point.
Yeah.
One out. Stick you on there. Right, so we've got our 2 circles. Oh, we've got this little bit here. Now, what I did for this little bit here, there wasn't. There's variety of sentiments, but they're mostly thank you ones.
Yes.
Wishing you a lovely day, or the you are appreciated, which didn't feel right for this sort of size of a big card.
No.
So I've taken the little celebrate out of the banner sayings.
Ah, okay, yes.
And at least that with celebrate, then it could be.
Yeah.
Couldn't it? Could be celebrating anything.
Absolutely.
Let's take a block. And I did that in Poppy Parade.
Oh no.
There we are. So we've just got a little celebrate on there. So each one of these, I did a couple of leaves and one set of flowers. You could raise the flowers up if you wanted to on the centre bit, but I haven't because it's popped up anyway. The one thing you do want to be careful with the one that you're doing for the centre is that it's worth sticking this on first. So let's stick that on here first. And you can sort of line that up so it's central top and bottom, and you've got an equal gap top and bottom. What you do want to make sure is that your leaves don't overlap your bottom, your score lines. So you want them to sit within that bit, otherwise they'll
bend,
curled up. Let's bring that one in there. In there. And I'll bring the flowers down the middle. I'm not going to take my adhesive right to the end because it might overlap slightly.
Yeah.
Ooh, stuck to my finger. And then my little celebrate, where have you gone? I did put a couple of dimensionals on that either end, a couple of mini dimensionals. There you go. Just to pop that up a bit. A bit like that. And then hopefully that will all fold in nicely like that. And our belly band will go over the top. In you go, belly band, like that. So then we've got this one to go on the front. So rather than guesstimate where the blue needs to go on the back of my circle, I'll do it on my band itself. And then we've got 2 more leaves and another set of flowers. I did put my I did put my flowers on with dimensionals for the front one.
Yeah.
A bit. The blue on there. This one you can be a bit more. These can come out a bit more if you want them to. I haven't put another greeting on the front, but you certainly could.
Yeah, yeah.
Or wait until you decide who you give them to and what for, and then put something on.
True.
Again, I'm going to put them, not going to take these right to the outer edges just because it overlaps a little, might possibly overlap a little bit. And I did put just a little bow of white thread on this. If you'd done it in sort of berry burst type colours, you could have put a little bow of the ribbon, but I thought berry burst ribbon probably wasn't going to.
No, there would be no reason for that, would there?
And the one thing that does seem to have gone complete walkies, and I have a feeling that if I was to completely take out everything from the little bag that I've got all the papers and things in, they're going to be tucked between a couple of sheets of paper, is my embellishments, because I am 99% sure that I dropped them in that bag yesterday.
Right.
I can't see them, obviously.
No. Well, it's all right. We can pretend.
But I did just put a few of the yellow flowery ones, actually.
Okay, yes, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
But you can choose which ones you like, really. But they were the ones I went with. So that is that fancy fold card.
Very pretty. That is perfect for Brenda.
There you go. Yeah, there it is, opened up with your belly band. And when I find my embellishments, I will put them on there. So that is that card. I did do one more.
Yep.
And that was using the foil, because I was very aware that I hadn't used any of the sort of textured foil on anything.
Yeah.
I think that's partly because I struggle a bit with foil, particularly foil. I'm all right if it's in a background. I know lots of people, people can use it as a central focus, and that's absolutely fine. These leaves are determined to leave the building. Yeah, so I do find coloured foil a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, talking of leaving the building, how did Ruby cope with being away?
I think she was quite quiet. I think she was okay. Um, but they said that she spent quite a little bit of her time just in her bed. But hopefully, when she's there for a bit longer, she'll start to build up a bit more of a relationship with them. You know,
Yeah.
might be a bit quiet the first day, but start to come out of her shell.
Yeah. And did she forgive you?
Yeah, I mean, she came in quite excited. In fact, she never really left my side very much while I was here.
Oh.
Whether that will be the same after a week, I don't know. She may be more miffed at that. Right, so this card is very different. I'm thinking sort of teenage.
Oh, wow.
Teenager, sort of early 20s, really quite.
Yeah. Fab. Wow.
Yeah, very different. So this was using a couple of different sorts of some embossing. It's using that embossing folder. It's heat embossing onto the foil, and of course the foil is textured. I did have a go to do a black ice technique on it, but I think it's the texture.
The texture's a bit shallow, isn't it?
Yeah, it didn't work. I mean it's nice. But yeah, so I did try. I did attempt for a black ice technique, but that didn't work. I thought, no, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board. So we've got a black card base.
Yep.
So you'll just need to score this in half and hold it. Oh, let's get rid of all of our scrappy bits of white off of there. And then we've got a bit of DSP on that, and I've used this one just here. So it's got the berry burst and sort of going into blackberry bliss flowers on the back and sort of colours sort of
right. Yeah.
This one will probably be a little bit more blackberry bliss than the one I've used there, but that sort of
it's all right. Yeah.
That paper. So let's cut that to 14.4 by 10. That will just sit on my hard base.
Right.
And I'm going to swing it that way so that the slightly lighter is at the top. One. And then we've got these pieces of foil. So we've got a long piece and we've got a square piece. And then we've also got, I've only cut one of those. I should have cut 2 bits of basic black. And I think I've only cut one, but that's okay. We'll work on that in a minute. Should also have a square of basic black and a little bit for the other bit is for embossing and cutting out, so it won't really matter if I put that on. That's really gonna shine on that.
That's all right.
Foil.
That's so good. There's not much flare here. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we have got a piece of black card and we have got this piece of foil. This piece of foil I'm going to emboss with the embossing folder. Yes, looking for it. Here it is. I'm just going to run that through with the. And obviously, you can position it where you like it, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it to one side, I think, because you seem to catch more leaves down that. and find my embossing plate. Was definitely here just now. That's gone into hiding. I'll just go and grab another one. And then it will come to the light.
Of course.
Right, I'll run that through. Such a pretty embossing folder, and it is really lovely.
It is a very pretty one. I'm not so sure I like the hybrid bit yet.
No, I quite liked it. I did that one card. I didn't mind it on that. Yeah, so I did do a little bit different with this one. So I have used a bit. Right, so this is one where the card mat is the same length.
Right, okay, yeah.
So it just gives you a bit of a border either side, because that will then sit on there and you'll have your border top and bottom from your card base anyway. So that sits pretty well in the middle at the back there.
Yeah, I was being stupid. When I looked at your card, I thought, gosh, she's just done tiny strips either side.
No. You could, if you want to. I didn't.
No. I think life's a bit short, I think, Helen.
Yeah, a bit short. Yeah. So that was dry embossing along with the embossing folder. For the flowers on here, we have heat embossed with black embossing powder. Somebody said something the other day. We were talking the other day at one of the classes, something about needing to check what I need to use what we don't use enough of. I've got lots of black embossing powder. We obviously don't use black embossing powder nearly enough.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's going to be a feature, is it?
Yeah. Black embossing powder is going to be. And I was thinking, I must find ways of using black embossing powder a bit more. And I thought, oh, black embossing powder, that will work. I wonder how that will work on this foil. So yeah, you obviously want to ink it up quite well. It may even be that you'd want to go with a stamp position just so that you could do it a couple of times, although it is textured, so you're not going to get a completely smooth image on the background, but actually that's almost one of its features, really. I stamped this on here so that this stem, the bottom of this stem, was sort of hanging just slightly off the edge so that it was coming from the bottom rather than floating in the middle of the card. And you know what I haven't done? I haven't used
you haven't used your embossing buddy.
And it's black embossing powder. So this will be interesting. It may be this is what it looks like when it's finished. We shall see. The embossing gods make with me. You never know, you know. So it shows up quite nicely on there. I don't know if you can pick that up.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Nice little effect on there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That wasn't bad, was it?
No, that's pretty good.
I'll live with that. So it looks more solid like that than it does when you heat it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thinking, with my gun? But that's because I needed to take one plug out in order to.
Right, yeah.
Guess which plug I took out?
Of course.
Right. So yeah, as you heat it, it sort of, the texture shows up underneath it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's quite a dramatic effect, really.
It is. It's fabulous, actually. It's super.
So I just stuck that to my bit of black card. Like that. I did use some of the ribbon on this one. So I sort of wrapped it around the bottom of it. Keep that there for me.
Is that your second packet of crisps, John?
Oh.
Tut. He hasn't had his dinner yet. He didn't want it before we started.
Well,
so
he won't. Well, I don't think he's eating crisps.
Oh, he will. He's quite looking forward to it, I think.
Oh, good. You got something nice.
Well, kippers, actually.
Oh,
he likes it.
I like kippers.
Yeah.
I quite like kippers. So
I've had my meal.
Yeah. So it will want a good sticking down because it sort of warps it ever so slightly, heat embossing it, but not too bad. So I'm just wrapping that round there and sticking on the back.
I've got an old flat iron that sits beside me on the table, and I stick everything under that for 5 minutes. It's works a treat.
I was thinking what's going on there. My phone's gone completely skew-iffy. There we go. That's my ribbon wrapped there. I'll do a little bow. We'll add that with a bit of a glue dot. On the front there. Now, again, my embellishments have gone missing, but what I did was, again, I used the flowery ones, but the very ones, and I've given the two flowers a centre, and I've added another one on there. So actually that in itself makes quite a difference, adding those.
Yeah, it does. It gives them focus, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is that. I added this to my card front with some dimensionals. Oh my goodness me. Those have been rubified on the edge. I've obviously dropped those on the floor and she's added ruby fur. I put that one on a bit wonky donkey just because. Just because
you can.
Yep. So the leaves for this one, I just took the other bit of basic black card, and it doesn't matter if it's not cut completely to size, it can be any bit really. And I've run that through the embossing folder, but I've run it through the embossing folder with the die, with the
yes.
Make sure we've got that something like there. And again, you might want to work out where you want it. And I think again, I put it up this one's left-hand side, just because that gave me quite a bit of good leaves that I could use. So I'm going to run that through. And you could do this with a bigger bit of card and use leaves for other things as well.
Yeah.
Or if you're certainly
be
for these cards, it might be worth doing a whole quarter sheet.
Yeah.
So of course, what you'll get then is you'll get leaves that are embossed, but they're also partially cut.
Yeah.
So you can then take your scissors and just finish cutting off whichever leaves
Right. Yeah.
you want. And because you've got the raised stems as well as the raised leaves, that does make it a little bit easier just to cut round them. And we have that one there. And you come up against another bit where it's snipped out, so you just need to snip into that bit. All snipped. So it's sort of like partial fussy cutting.
Yeah.
It's partly done for you. There's one bit. And then you can just decide where you want them to go. I've just tucked them under the corners. Bit that comes up here, and I shall perhaps do another bit that goes up there. Oh. Yeah, that bit can go in there. So it's just a question of tucking those then underneath.
Right, yeah.
The corners of your card. I'll leave them just like that. Might go back in and put another little bit. And then there's a little bit of black card somewhere. So I've used the wishing you a lovely day.
Don't forget your embossing buddy this time.
No, I won't. Particularly on black card. So there we go. Wishing you a lovely day. Embossing buddy. And then this one we've embossed in white. Obviously, you could emboss it in black, but it wouldn't show up very well, I think.
No, not really.
And I wasn't sure. You could try doing it black on white card, but I felt as if the white card might be a bit.
No, I like what you've done.
Yeah, I wasn't sure that the other way round would work quite as well. So, wishing you a lovely day. And white embossing powder. Ooh, stay.
Is there any left? Oh yeah.
Find ourselves a little brush. Darling, we've got more excess on this one than we had with the foil.
Yeah. Yeah. But I often find with words on black, it's just, yeah.
Another blast. So I just put along the wishing you A. Made that fairly straight and just angled this end on it, and that's there. And then I cut round the day. A bit like that.
Fab. It's very pretty.
Yeah. So yeah, just a little bit very different.
Yeah.
In very different cards there. As I say, this one really struck me that if you've got somebody sort of late teens or early 20s or something, that would be really quite a bit funky. Yeah. And then this one is a bit more traditionally floral. So, and again,
fabulous. Thank you.
Really good on the timing again.
Woohoo! You've done brilliantly.
Let's remove the spotlight. Yeah, so hopefully they will be you'll enjoy doing both of those. I will get them written up to you for you as quick as I can. I will upload the video once we've finished and get that out to you.
Lovely, thank you.
And then that will be the 2 classes done. And then I am still intending to do a scrapbook page. I will get that done at some point.
Right, okay, fab. Yeah.
And anything else I find. I have put a few things in the Pinterest board. If I come across anything else, I will add those in. Yeah, just so that you've got somewhere to go for a bit more inspiration if you've got any bits left over.
Fabulous.
So you're so hope you enjoy those, and I will catch up with you all soon.
Thank you.
Have his dinner.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how long it takes to cook kippers in the microwave, but they're in the microwave, so fine.
Yeah, so all good.
All right then. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, so night, and we'll God bless, see you soon.
See you Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, love. Bye.